A man injured last Friday in a crash east of Bakersfield has died. It happened Friday afternoon on Panama Road and Comanche Drive. CHP says Rosario Alvarez Jr. was driving a sedan east on Panama Road and didn't yield to a tractor trailer headed south on Comanche. The two collided. Alvarez was airlifted to Kern Medical, but later died. The other driver was not hurt. A rapper and known gang member who was supposed to meet with police today to talk about stopping gang violence was shot and killed. Nipsey Hussle, whose real name was Eremias Askedom, was gunned down outside his Los Angeles clothing store yesterday. Two others were also shot but are expected to survive. Fans gathered in the area last night and lit candles. Nipsey Hussle had been on the music scene for more than a decade, but just released his first studio album and received a Grammy nomination last year. He was known for giving back to his community that he grew up in and promoting education.
He is someone who put our community on the map. People thought that our community was just about violence, and Nipsey put a change to that, and he let them know that even though we're from underprivileged communities of poverty, that we can still become something.
He was here for all of us. Whoever did that, they was wrong. God don't like ugly.
And it hurts the community, all these people, you know, they love him. We love him, I love him, you know? But it's sad, really sad.
Police have not made any arrests in connection with the shooting. Last night, Los Angeles Police Commissioner Steve Soboroff said he and Police Chief Michael Moore had been scheduled to meet with the rapper today to talk about ways he could help stop gang violence and help children. Under budget, the Centennial Corridor is well on its way to completion, and the city of Bakersfield says no bonds will be needed to finish it. The Centennial Corridor project is 4 phases. Eventually, it will connect the West Side Parkway with Highway 99. In the city memo, credits given to former Congressman Bill Thomas and his idea of creating a partnership between 4 entities to oversee the project. Bakersfield is lead, Kern County, Kern COG, and Caltrans. The final phase of the project will construct the freeway main line and the 58 and 99 connector ramps. The city received a $50 million U.S. Department of Transportation grant that will eliminate the need for the city to borrow money to complete the project. Construction of Phase 4 is expected to begin this summer, and the entire Centennial Corridor project is expected to be finished in 2022. Today is the start of Distracted Driving Awareness Month. Bakersfield Police and law enforcement statewide will be stepping up enforcement. Officers say they'll specifically be looking for drivers on their cell phones. First-time offenders face a $162 fine. Under the most recent law that went into effect in 2017, drivers cannot have a phone in their hand for any reason. The law requires phones be mounted on the dashboard, windshield, or center console and can only be touched with the swipe or tap of a finger to activate or deactivate a function. Last year, BPD says it issued nearly 1,000 citations to drivers who were using their phones behind the wheel. All right, thanks, Kevin. Just 48 hours after a Southern California racetrack reopened, yet another horse has died. Arms Runner's the 23rd horse to have died at the track since late December. Racetrack officials say the horse collided with another horse during the San Simeon Stakes yesterday. Arms Runner died as a result of the crash. The other horse was not hurt. The track introduced new rules regulating the use of whips and medication earlier this month. The Los Angeles County District Attorney's Office is also investigating the horse deaths. Lucky, the sick dog who was badly wounded and left at the Bakersfield Animal Care Center, is hanging in there and so far doing well with his recovery. We first told you about the pup Friday on 17 News at noon. Someone dropped off the dog at the shelter Thursday. His eye was badly injured and his legs were matted together so he couldn't walk. A veterinarian performed emergency surgery Friday morning. Executive Director Julie Johnson told 17 News yesterday afternoon that Lucky continues to recover and is sleeping a lot. Johnson says for now the focus is to help Lucky recover, then find him a forever home. We're back now on your 17 Health Watch. Most parents support age limits when it comes to tackling in football. That's according to a new survey of more than 1,000 parents. It showed 63% of moms and 58% of dads were in favor of a minimum age for tackle football. Parents with a college education and those worried about the risk of concussion were most likely to support age restrictions. Lung cancer is the leading cause of cancer death in both men and women because it's often diagnosed too late. Samantha has more on how one hospital in Florida is working to diagnose it earlier.
It's a complete game-changing technology.
Using a controller modeled off the Xbox, doctors are using the new Monarch robot to diagnose lung cancer earlier and safer.
The physician's in control of the bronchoscope the entire time, using small movements of the device, allowing us to be very precise. Once we get to where we're at, we lock the bronchoscope in place, we set the controller down, and then do our biopsies.
Since January, the lung cancer screening program has identified dozens of patients that have benefited, including Richard Cooper.
Because I had been such a heavy smoker, they suggested that I have this test done.
An initial screen found 3 potentially problematic nodules. That used to mean 3 separate biopsies over a few weeks.
So with our program, we were able to, at one setting, biopsy all 3, confirm that 2 of these were benign and 1 was a lung cancer.
Because only 1 was cancerous, he could have more targeted treatment.
Then he underwent a Da Vinci robotic resection of a portion of his lung and went home in 2 days. So all done through little tiny 8mm holes.
And just a week after surgery, he's getting back to his normal life.
Yesterday, my wife and I went for a bicycle ride. I get tired very easily, but I'm able to get up and do stuff.
Without the new technology, Cooper could have had more surgery or gone completely undiagnosed.
With this new technology, we're able to get out a little farther into the lung tissue and take biopsies that we previously were not able to do.
When you look, even 10 years ago, what I had, they probably wouldn't have found it in the first place, and that would have been a death sentence,
And by the way, you can help raise money for and support locals fighting cancer this weekend. The Camp Out Against Cancer is happening this Friday and Saturday at the Kaiser Permanente Sports Village. Last year, the event set a new record, raising more than $400,000. The money goes to the Kern County Cancer Fund to help local patients with the financial burden of battling cancer. Business Watch now, and stocks jumped today as strong manufacturing data out of the U.S. and China eased worries of a possible global economic slowdown. The Dow, as you can see, up 293 points so far in trading. The Nasdaq up 87, the S&P 500 up 27. Checking out oil prices today, also up. West Texas Intermediate selling for $61.56 a barrel at last check. Midway Sunset started the day at $66.14 a barrel. Welcome back. Making news around the world. Soldiers in Belarus and Eastern Europe are methodically and respectfully unearthing the bones of hundreds of people shot during World War II and dumped in a mass grave. The town of Brest is the former site of a Jewish ghetto that was lethally cleared out by Nazi troops during World War II. The grave was uncovered by chance in February during construction in a residential area in the center of Brest near the Polish border. One soldier leading the recovery efforts told local media they've recovered at least 730 bodies, with over 1,000 expected in the grave, adding that there are a lot of women and children in the pit as well. Some of the skulls have bullet holes suggesting the victims had been executed. Belarus, a former Soviet republic, was occupied by Nazi Germany during World War II, and tens of thousands of its Jews were killed by Nazis. Venezuelans took to the streets of the capital yesterday to fill up water buckets amidst failing infrastructure and a deep economic crisis. A 5-liter bottle of water costs about $2, out of reach for many low-income people in Venezuela, where the monthly minimum wage is only around $6 each month. President Nicolas Maduro's government blames the scarcity of water on a long drought and accuses opponents of sabotaging its supply. The country's opposition, led by Juan Guaido, in January invoked the Constitution to assume the interim presidency after declaring Maduro's re-election a fraud. Maduro calls Guaido a puppet of the United States, which he says is seeking to force him from office through a coup. Several people were found dead inside a family-owned property management business in Mandan, North Dakota. Police were responding to a medical call at RJR Maintenance and Management when they discovered the bodies. Authorities did not reveal the exact number of deceased people found inside and have not provided further details. The company's website notes it's been handling commercial and residential properties in Bismarck and Mandan for more than 20 years and lists 22 employees. Mandan police are investigating with the assistance of the North Dakota Bureau of Criminal Investigation and the Morton County Sheriff's Office. The man accused of picking up and killing a South Carolina student is now in jail, and officials are warning those who take rideshare services to be extra careful to make sure you're getting into the right vehicle. NBC's Carrie Sanders has more on this tragic story.
We'll fear no evil.
Overnight, hundreds attending a vigil at the University of South Carolina to remember Samantha Josephson.
She had a personality and a presence that lit up a room.
Police say the 21-year-old senior was leaving a college bar early Friday morning when she mistakenly got into this black Chevy Impala, thinking it was her Uber ride, a surveillance camera capturing her final moments.
She opened the door and got into it and departed with the suspect driving.
When Josephson's body was found in a wooded area hours later by two hunters, she had numerous wounds to her head and body. 24-year-old Nathaniel David Rowland has been arrested, charged with kidnapping and murder. Early Saturday, police spotted Rowland's car just blocks from where Josephson was first picked up. Inside his vehicle, detectives found what they say is compelling evidence: Josephson's blood, her cell phone, window cleaner, and a container of bleach. And they revealed one other chilling detail.
The child safety locks were activated on the door that would not allow someone to the means of escape.
Josephson's grieving mother, Marcy Josephson, spoke at the suspect's bail hearing.
It sickens us to think that his face was the last thing that my baby girl saw on this earth.
Before you get into an Uber, open the door, but ask a simple question. Who are you here to pick up?
Carrie.
If you hear them say your name, that confirms this is the car for you. If they don't know your name, probably not the right car. Kerry Sanders, NBC News, Columbia, South Carolina.
Such important information. Experts say before getting into a rideshare, confirm the make, model, and license plate of the car. And you can get all that information from the service's app. Astronauts Anne McClain and Christina Koch were set to be part of the team in early March when NASA announced plans for the first ever all-female spacewalk. But last week, just days before, NASA announced McClain could not complete the walk because of a spacesuit sizing issue. Both women needed to wear a medium-sized upper torso, and only one would be ready to go in time. On Friday, Koch completed that spacewalk with astronaut Nick Hague. This morning, the three astronauts appeared live on NBC's Today Show from the International Space Station.
Yes, it is an absolutely incredible experience to be outside the space station. Friday was my first time doing it, and it blew me away. Floating above the Earth with nothing between you and the Earth 250 miles below you except for your own personal spacecraft known as your spacesuit is a pretty amazing thing to be able to accomplish, and we're lucky to be part of a team that enables us to do that.
Both McClain and Koch still made history. They became the 13th and 14th women to ever complete a spacewalk. Still amazing.